what's a profession that a guy does that's a red flag to you? Not bad, actually. Ooh. What's a red flag job for you, ladies? We could start here and then work our way. For a man
which is the negative? Is it yellow collar or is it blue collar jobs?
I forgot.
Color?
I forgot what it's called.
Blue collar is a more, laborious type job, maybe a construction worker, whatever, and then a white collar is office.
Well, I mean, depends on their age. Like, I mean, for example, my age, any job is, will suffice.
Blowjobs.
Well, what's a red flag job, though?
What if you make more than him, though?
What are we gonna do about that? I mean, like, getting a job can also be circumstantial. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into a job. Your experience, how far you are, if you have reliable transportation. At least right now, it doesn't matter as long as you have a job.
What about like McDonald's, CVS, porn star?
I mean, porn star.
You never know what it is.
I don't know about porn star. That's not something I would.
So is that a red flag?
Oh, wait, technically, aren't you a porn star too?
Oh shit.
To an extent, but the thing is, in my content, I just post myself. I've gotten opportunities to shoot with other people. I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't know if I am. Like, I'm not against that idea, but I don't want to consider myself that.
So what's one red flag job that if a guy had it, you'd be like, it'd make you
what age?
Go.
Because it varies.
Let's say 25 years old.
Oh, well then we can say lunch lady or something like that.
For a man?
Lunch nigga. Okay. That's the first one. That's the first. All right, what about you? Red flag job.
I mean, you said 25, so at that point, I feel like if you still work in fast food or anything along those lines, I mean, it's kind of a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like you should have pushed past that point and tried to do something else.
He's trying, though. It's taking a little bit longer.
Yeah,
so any fast food, even Chick-fil-A. My pleasure.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. What if he's a manager at one of those spots?
Ooh. But I'd be owner.
Even I feel like that doesn't suffice.
So he's making like $70K a year.
Personally, for me, I want somebody that I could actually build a company with or something along those lines. So if you don't have that mentality and you don't have that drive, then I'm not going to talk to you.
So you want an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
So so even if they have a good job, let's say they're a lawyer, but they're employed by a firm.
I mean, yeah, that's like at that point, like that's fine. But like if you have the drive and the motivation and the work ethic, then like, yeah, I'm fine being with you. But if you don't, then for the most part, no. And I feel like people in the fast food space and things along those lines, some very small portion may have the drive and the motivation to try and get out of that situation.
But let's say they're a regional manager making $100K a year.
Then, I mean,
The Office.
Still, the mentality.
The Office.
I feel like that's very complacent. That's a very complacent person.
Just saying in a nutshell, do better, nigga. Do better.
All right. So he's got to be an entrepreneur, basically, for you. If he works for anybody, it's like.
I mean, it's not even like working for anybody. It's like, personally, like myself, I work for somebody right now, but I'm a 1099. So like everything I do, I'm an independent contractor.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So fast food, anything else?
I mean, no.
Okay. So fast food is the biggest red flag for you. Okay. Regardless of income, it's fast food.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay. What about you? Red flag job for you?
Club promoter.
Ah. See, that's a big one.
Have you ever dated one?
No, but I know some two guys that were actually supposedly in relationships and like they were not faithful. It was not possible.
Okay. And you saw them like have sex with another girl?
Well, I know the stories, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually to add about the fast food manager, if you can be a manager at a fast food place, why would you not go maybe, somewhere better? Why are you just staying in a
complacent?
Fast food? Like, yeah.
Well, depending on the chain, you can make a lot of money as a manager. If you're like an operations manager, a district manager, you could be making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year.
Their argument is go somewhere else with a better, I want to say, reputation.
Yeah, reputation.
That's what they're saying, basically.
So you guys are more concerned with the title over the income capacity.
No, it's not even that. I feel like if you can make it to that level, then you should be able to push yourself to go outside of that, like what you're already doing.
What if their skill set is within dining?
Then, I mean, you can go to a 5-star restaurant, do something else.
They don't pay as much.
To be fair, that is true.
Okay,
so they don't pay as much. So you guys are more, and that's fine. I'm just asking some critical questions here. So for you guys, it seems the title is more important than the income, which is fine.
No, so if you're a regional manager at a Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
and you would be only manager like somewhere else, like yes, stay at Chick-fil-A. But like if you compare the same position, regional manager at Chick-fil-A, or you could be regional manager at Ritz-Carlton, it doesn't exist regional manager there, but if you could be at a more reputable company like that, then why would you stay with a fast food chain?
So title is important.
Status.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for being honest.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you for being honest.
You guys are confirming things that we've talked about on this podcast many times before. Don't worry. It's not bad.
Well, I wouldn't not accept it, but I would still question it.
What about you?
So I don't disagree with that, but also
What's a red flag job for you?
if we're going with like the 25-year-old age range, not range, like anyone who's still like who's trying to get into like the film industry and like hasn't like really made it at that point,
Okay, be particular about
Actors.
film. Okay, I was gonna say
like either actors, but like all sides, like directors, anything, like all the people who like went to film school and they're just like
okay.
trying but not really.
So anyone that's in film
Struggling.
at 25 years old is a red flag to you.
Slightly, yeah.
Okay, if they're not successful.
Yeah.
Okay, anything
Mm.
else?
Look at Morgan Freeman, man.
Well, she said if they're not successful.
Oh.
Morgan Freeman.
Alright.
Like what?
He started late.
He started at like 40
He
years
started
old.
late.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so film. All right, what about you?
See, I was gonna say fast food, but then I started thinking, and I was like, people who work in fast food, they're put in stressful situations, so it's like they're forced to work faster and harder. So I just know that like they have potential, and I'm not gonna look past that. So what I am gonna say is OnlyFans. If you're a man with OnlyFans,
Damn.
or you're a male porn star, I will not be looking your way. That's a red flag for me. That's it.
I'm curious. Why do you say that? Because I've heard that before. But why?
I just think it's like weird.
How's it weird?
Just like how when I'm sorry, I'm gonna bash everybody. I don't like
go ahead.
OnlyFans. I don't like anybody that has an OnlyFans. I'm gonna say that
Okay.
directly.
Goddamn.
Oh, she don't
I
like you, by the
respect
way.
you as a
Yeah.
person.
She don't
I
like you.
respect you as a
It is
person,
what it is.
but I just don't fuck
You
with
don't
that
agree with
OnlyFans
it.
shit.
Okay.
Hold on. You going to take that from her?
What am I gonna do about it? It's not a very.
I
At the end
wouldn't
of the
take
day,
that.
it's not the best profession to do. It
Then
kind of
stop.
money. But
Yeah,
money.
fresh money, man.
It's
But now she don't like you.
Ooh.
But you're never gonna be liked by everybody at the end of the day. What am I gonna do about that? She seems like a respectful, educated young lady. What am I gonna do about the fact that she doesn't like OnlyFans?
Stop.
To some degree, I don't like it either, but it's helping me.
Stop. Okay, never mind. I was talking shit. All right, let's move forward.
All right. Let me ask you ladies this. Would you prefer being a sewage removal person making $100,000 a year, or would you rather be a flight attendant making $30,000 per year with being able to travel and shit like that? What would you prefer to do? Cleaning out shit in the sewers, right?
Okay.
Making $100K a year, or basically a sewer manager, I guess we could say, or a sewer removal specialist. That'll be your title. Or you're a flight attendant traveling the world, but you're only making $30K per year. What job would you prefer? Let's start here and then work our way. Go ahead.
I would prefer to be a flight attendant.
Flight attendant.
I think I'll go with flight attendant too.
Flight attendant.
Although I hate the smell of shit, I'm a do that option. Be a sewage cleaner for 100 bands.
Wow.
Okay. Over
Money.
the flight attendant gig.
She likes money.
Looking pretty and handing out peanuts isn't gonna pay the bills.
I think it's just peanuts.
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 It's
All right.
true.
All right.
It's actually pretzels, by the way.
yeah,
Nowadays it's pretzels, but thank
yeah.
you.
Okay.
That's interesting though,
You're
to
welcome.
get the girl's perspective on that.
That's good.
Interesting. Would you guys say that women value the title of a job more than the income of a job? Start here.
I mean, it varies per woman. I mean, in my opinion,
In general.
that's something really I can't advocate for. I don't talk to many people. I don't get these types of opinions unless I'm on the panels. But
You don't talk to people outside of the show?
not like that. I'm very picky with who I associate with.
Okay. All right. What about you? Would you say women prioritize status of a job over income of a job?
Most women, yes.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I got
Would you say that?
Stupid.
No.
Would you say that women prioritize the status of a job over the income of a job?
Okay, so because of what I said earlier, because of the flight attendant, I have to say yes. But
Okay.
really, I think it really depends.
Okay. What about you?
Probably status.
Of a job?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I personally think women look more at the income. It doesn't really matter the status. It's just,
Income?
yeah, a lot of people here just look for money. A lot of girls here just look for money.
But can you agree that like certain positions don't really correlate with the money? It's more like, for example, you have a stigma, like a stigma behind it, basically.
I mean, yeah, the stigma. If you're talking about the stigma, then yeah, the status. Like if you were like a president, you don't even make that.
Controversial take. I think women in general are fairly lazy. And what I mean by that is like women don't really like to go into laborious jobs that are taxing. They prefer to work an office job that's nice and air conditioned that pays them $50K a year versus being a construction worker or a power lineman making $100,000 to $150,000 a year.
Pardon
You're
me,
shaking your
but
head.
may I say
Disagree.
something?
Yeah, go
You've
ahead.
said in your prior podcast that women tend to be, or no, we are biologically much more weak.
Yeah.
Well, you really think we're gonna like do all these really difficult jobs? You know, we're gonna do something that fits what we can do physically, emotionally.
Of course. That's why women are lazier when it comes to working more laborious jobs. Like,
It's
from a
not
physical
lazy
capacity.
though. It's not. It's something you probably just can't achieve. You know, it also depends on the woman, right? If you're a bodybuilder, to an extent, you could. Well, not a bodybuilder. Consistently at the gym, you could be a construction worker. No, you can't
They
be.
absolutely could get the job, and they'd have a higher likelihood of getting the job too. It's just that they choose not to.
I mean,
So therefore, they're lazy.
okay, but like that doesn't. You know, people don't have to have a certain job to call them lazy. You know, like, how many men do you see as hairstylists? How many men do you see as nurses? Does that make them lazy in that regard?
Well, they work harder jobs physically.
Who says?
Men do.
Who says?
It's just a fact. If you look at any type of infrastructure job where things are being built, it's dominated by men and not women.
Yeah, but like I said, the point is like sometimes because of our biological status, we cannot complete these activities that men do with much more ease. So why are we going to break our
But they
butt?
still can't do it.
We can, but there's a lot of women that do it, but the majority stick to what they can do.
Yeah.
So
Which
I
is what
don't
I'm trying to say is that
understand.
women in general tend to be lazier than men when it
But
comes to working laborious jobs.
that's not the word you should use for it.
Oh,
It's
what word
not.
should I use then?
Unavailable, less capable to an extent. You know, we're all capable of it, but you're going to get a job that suits you, right? So I don't understand your point. Calling it lazy to me is a little out there.
It is lazy because they have the capacity to make more money, but they choose not to, and they'll take a pay cut because they don't want to work harder physically. Even though they're capable of doing so, might be a little bit harder. They can do it though, but they choose not to.
You want us to say inferior?
Yeah,
What
that's
about
a-
you? You
that's a good
disagreed with
word.
my point. Why?
Can you restate the question for me again?
Wasn't really a question. I just made a statement, and you were just like shaking your head. I was saying that women in general
Are lazier.
tend to be lazier when it comes to working laborious jobs like construction or any type of infrastructure type job that is,
That I mean, yeah, in a sense that is true. Women are lazier with physical jobs
yes.
and a lot of things along those lines because they don't. It's a lot more strenuous activity that they don't really want to do at the end of the day.
So what do you disagree with? Because you were shaking your head saying I was wrong.
I feel like women will do like the harder. Some women have the capacity to try and do those jobs, and I do know that because of my
But I said a
personal
majority.
experience. Yeah, majority.
I didn't say nothing like all, but I said a majority of women are not going to do those jobs.
That is true. I mean,
Even just in our own example here, all of you opted for the lower paying job that is less physically strenuous over the higher paying, more physically strenuous job.
Mhm.
Even though it was it was over 3 times as much money earned, all of you opted for the lower income job. But if I asked that question to a bunch of men, all of them would have probably said the sewer job.
Well, I'll be in there tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's where I belong.
So I think men are far more willing to sacrifice themselves and put their dreams to the side or do something that they like less to make money versus women are not necessarily willing to do that. Women are more likely to chase their passions, even if it pays them less than men are. But the reason for that is because women aren't assessed on their ability to create income, really. No guy's ever going to come to you and be like, oh, you make $20K per year? I'm not going to fuck with you. Men in general really don't care about
Like,
that.
you can work at Wendy's or Chick-fil-A yourself. Guys will still wife you up.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Matter of fact, you guys said that you wouldn't be interested in a fast food worker.
Yeah.
A guy ain't gonna give a shit about that. If a girl's attractive and cool, she works at McDonald's, he'll date her all day.
That's a fair point.
So you don't disagree, I guess, even though you're
No,
shaking
the
your
way
head?
that you restated it, I understood it better. I don't disagree.
Mhm.
I guess I might have misheard it a little bit at first, but I don't
You were
agree with your
triggered.
statement.
You were triggered, but it's okay. It happens very often where girls will hear what I got to say and their feelings take over and they're like, I don't like this, but it's the truth. And the reality is that women in general dominate the most useless jobs, the most useless professions. They get the most useless degrees.
Give
This is
us
all-
examples of the useless professions and stuff.
Well, I have it in my book actually right here. Why Women Deserve Less.
Outlined and summarized.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I literally wrote a book on this about how women dominate job fields that are, fairly useless to society. They're more involved in like social jobs, man. Like being,
That just reminds, sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
the whole work smarter, not harder. Not necessarily smarter, but it's like if you can do something the easy way, why not?
I mean,
Fair
your
enough.
own life itself, you're
But you're
doing
getting paid less.
really easy jobs yourself.
So, for example, top 10 jobs for women. Preschool, kindergarten teachers, executive secretaries, childcare workers, regular secretaries, dental assistants, medical records specialists, receptionists, information clerks, medical assistants, dietitians, nutritionists, hairdressers, and cosmetologists.
That is
All these
wrong.
job fields are dominated by women better than 89%. Versus you look at the top 10 for men, plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters, electricians, carpenters, auto mechanics, supervisors of construction extraction workers, construction laborers, firefighters, industrial mechanics, aircraft mechanics, machinists, 95, and all those are 90+% men. Well, the latter, these jobs are critical for infrastructure to run society. The other jobs are kind of
You're not going to
Yeah.
tell me that being a preschool teacher and childcare, that's not necessary. You know, who...
Not
okay.
really.
No, because, I mean, who's going to be educating and guiding these children in the right direction?
should be their
if it's-
parents, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
The mom.
Okay, but
Daycare is a-
some
is a scam.
people, they can't be at home 24/7. We in the United States, everything's expensive. Some people, some women are single, some men are single. What are you gonna do? Like,
Why are
leave
you
them on the
single with a
street?
kid?
Yeah, why?
You can't choose who leaves you, but that's not the point.
You
The
can choose
point,
who you have a kid with, though.
the point being,
The point being,
those
Byron,
jobs are essential for society, just as those other jobs, the manufacturing type jobs you were talking
No,
about.
they're not.
Yes, they are, because you're teaching the new generation. You're being there for them. You're assisting
Well, to be
them.
honest, we're
If-
fucked right now then.
yeah,
How so?
Kids are just
yeah,
figuring
TikTok and
Not
shit.
smart at
Kids,
all.
kids
You
are
got-
always gonna be little monsters. Like that's why we're trying to
Oh,
guide them in the
shit.
right
so
direction.
so you said your job is to help kids move forward. What are they really doing then?
I don't know. I'm not a preschool teacher. You're there to educate the kids. If women are just doing it, why can't men do it? It's like-
Preschool maybe, but I'm talking about daycare and stuff like that. It should be the mom beat the kids. Why are kids getting put in daycare? That's ridiculous.
You don't seem to understand that everybody's life, it's not easy. Nothing is easy. And I've been through circumstances where I've had to be left alone. Why do you always do
Yeah,
this?
I get it that your circumstance might have sucked and you didn't have that opportunity. But what I'm saying is, for things to be optimal, the mother should be at home with the kids during their child rearing
Well,
years, and
unfortunately,
it shouldn't necessarily be, And the other thing too is that women just pick really bad men that they shouldn't be having kids
Yep.
with,
She knows.
and they end up single moms and shit, and that leads to
but you're gonna put
a
the
slippery slope of
blame
fuckery.
fully on women. Like
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so you say women tend to be,
Hold on. Let's unpack that. Why do I put the blame on females? I put the blame on females because women have 100% authority of who's born. Men don't. Women do. Women have the ability to have the child or not. Men don't get that decision.
Yeah, but so you're kind of like contradicting everything. Like you're saying it's wrong to like kind of put them into childcare. What are they supposed to do? Everybody makes
Not have kids with a bum,
mistakes.
or not have kids with a guy that can't provide.
Sometimes you think this person is perfect, but they turn out to be a con artist.
Whose fault is that?
The guys,
No,
how are
it's
you
the
gonna
girl's fault.
how are you gonna
If
blame?
I go on a date with a girl and I think she likes me, and I spend $1,000 at Kiki in the River taking her out for a dinner date, right? And she ghosts me the next day. Whose fault is that?
What is that? How is that relevant to what I'm speaking
I'm
about?
giving an analogy here. If I went on a date and I thought she liked me and I spent $1,000 on a date, and then next thing you know, she don't call me back, whose fault is it?
obviously the females. in
No,
this
it's my
regard.
fault for being an idiot and not identifying her as a con artist.
That's not how it works, though. That you're trying to get to know people. People have relations sexually because it's a human desire, and sometimes
But it's upon
pregnancy
me-
just
Before you have kids
happens.
then.
But it's on me to be able to assess that individual before I invest a substantial amount of money into that individual, like $1,000 at a dinner date. Just like a woman, it should be on her to invest a little bit of, like understand the individual she's probably going to have a kid with. And
But
go,
should you not invest in not sticking your dick in like any turkey? Like you also, we both have the risk. You have
but
the
women
risk of
make the final
impregnating.
decision.
It
Men-
takes two to tango.
No, but men have zero reproductive rights, so therefore women have all the authority and responsibility that comes with it.
Turkey.
But
Okay, it's very simple.
mistakes
Hold on, stop,
happen.
stop,
Why
stop.
is it so wrong for childcare?
Stop. You do understand if someone has authority over something and they can make it happen, that means they're responsible for it, right?
Yes.
So men, if you were to get pregnant tomorrow by a guy, and the guy said, "Yo, please have the kid," but you said, "No, I'm not having the kid," whose decision prevails?
Legally, my decision.
Okay, so that means you have 100% authority. He has none. So what happens with authority? Responsibility. So if you decide to have that kid and you end up a destitute single mom, whose fault is it? Yours.
It's
Yours. It's your
to
fault. It's
some
your fault.
extent. Like, yeah, we
No, to the
sometimes
full
we
extent.
choose bums, but like you can't kind of blame the victim in this
What the
not victim, but you know what I mean.
bro?
You know what I
Accountability?
mean.
Zero accountability.
Accountability. What's
No,
that?
like you're saying, like mistakes happen. How are we expected? I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
And
arguing
then-
anyway.
then-
So.
Yeah, you're just arguing.
All right, we
arguing
have
at this point.
chats to
No.
read.
All right, man.
Did anyone else
I'll
have
come
anything
back
that they
to
want to
it.
add?
You're not wrong about that. Like, women should be at home during the childbearing years.
Yeah.
I mean, specifically because that's like time that they're developing the most and they form like connections with their family, and that's really what forms like how they act and how their personality later on in life. If they
Yeah.
don't have that connection with their mother or father, it's not going to be as beneficial as if they actually did.
And I'm not saying that like you don't work at all, but I think like especially in those formative years until the kid goes to school, the woman shouldn't be working. She should be at home with that child. Fuck daycare. That's like, how are you gonna put your baby 2 months old in daycare? That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I completely agree because my parents put me in like they hired a nanny from the time I was like 3 months old to like 5 years. They weren't really around. So
Explains it.
Well, and nanny's better than daycare though.
Yeah, I'm saying
at the
shit.
same time,
Was it like a au pair, like living in a house and stuff?
yeah, but my parents were never there.
Damn.
No.
Do you still talk to your nanny now?
Yeah, I love her.
Oh, okay.
Like she's like a second mom to me. I mean, at the same time, like I'm grateful.
Were your
That's,
parents like both of them worked?
yeah, both of them worked a lot. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm not complaining about how I grew up,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that it's better if
It's
you
not the
have
same
both.
as the mom.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's better if you have your mother around when you're growing up, especially during those younger years. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say from like birth to maybe like 4 or 5, you do need the mother.
In Eastern Europe, do they frown upon preschool?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I think I went to daycare when I was 2 years old, and I think that's just like normal. It's called kindergarten from 2 to 6, and you go to first grade when you're 7 years
You
old.
guys start kindergarten at 2?
Yeah,
Damn.
2 years old.
Culture,
yeah.
man.
2 or 3 years old.
There you
US,
go.
You don't start until like 5.
And now look at
It's
us.
a culture, bro. I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
All right, interesting. All right, where are we?
We
Did
gotta
anyone
ha-
else have anything?
We gotta head out to the next stream. Actually, time
Okay.
is not on our side right now.
All right, so I'll read these chats. Okay,
Cool.
chat. My girlfriend and I are watching from Beemore, Maryland. This
Baltimore.
is our first time ever super chatting. The question is, what's the best way to tell her that she's been overly emotional while she is actively freaking out emotionally?
Well, you want to tell her or just show her by action. You remain calm. You let her know, hey, listen, we'll talk about this when you calm down, and that's it.
Yeah, I
Or,
would leave.
or walk out the room.
I'll leave or tell her to leave.
Yeah.
That's the importance of not living with your girl, to be honest with y'all guys. People want to talk shit. "Why did you say don't live with your girl?" Yeah, for shit like that. When she acts crazy, you can kick her out. Very important.
Or walk away.
Or walk away.
So if she's having, like something wrong with her mentally at that very moment, you're just gonna discard of her, because she's not giving any use to you. That's not your girl. It's
Misogyny.
a girl that you have.
That's
to be
extreme.
That's not the context under which the
That's
question was
extreme.
asked. The question was she's being emotional, which probably he's meaning in like probably within the confinements of an argument or a disagreement or whatever. So I'm saying like just don't. I don't believe in arguing with women.
you
Yeah.
don't believe in negotiating, compromising.
No, they can't negotiate if they're
Communicating.
emotional.
I have a saying: I don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah.
And I look at females a lot of the times as terrorists in that regard. And the reason why, and I'll explain why. If you fuck up at work, do you sit there and negotiate with your boss about getting written up?
Nope.
No, right? There's a very clear power divide. You are not the same. You're not on the same footing. You don't have, let me negotiate with my boss. He's like, no, you're getting written up or you're getting reprimanded or they fire you. There's no compromising or anything like that. I think as a man, you don't sit there and negotiate with your girl or compromise with your girl. You're not the same. You're the leader. You're the authority
You're
figure.
both people in a relationship. That's what it's like to be in a relationship, to compromise, to love, and to understand your partner.
She ain't paying
You're,
rent
you're,
though.
you're
Are you
talking
single?
about it.
Are you single?
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
That makes sense.
Well, why does it make sense?
Because you're arguing for something that you don't even do.
Ooh.
What? Do what?
You have a man?
No.
Why?
Probably the OnlyFans, honestly. But at the same time, I don't get out of my comfort zone. I don't talk to anybody.
So by your logic, arguing with your woman works, right?
Not arguing, compromising, and understanding how you can
When a
in
woman's
the
in an
future.
overly emotional state, she's not trying to compromise. She's
Yeah.
trying to like
One up you.
Yeah, she just wants to like argue with you and get a response.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
a lot
like,
of the times.
speaking for myself, what I can say when I struggle, because, like, I struggle a lot mentally, that's why I'm emo. I want to be heard. I want to be understood. Like, I want
Yeah.
somebody to hear me. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Understandable.
Yeah, that's the difference. When women talk about their problems, they're not looking for a solution. They're just looking to talk. Men, when we talk about our
Because we're
problems,
human.
oh my
we're
God,
we're
be
not
quiet for 2
machines.
seconds. Listen before you respond. When women talk, they just want to be heard and they want to talk about their problems. When men talk about their problems, they typically want a solution. So you being overly emotional, nah. We don't want to hear that shit because you don't necessarily want a solution. You just want to talk about it, and I don't want to hear it. And I don't want to sit here and have to negotiate with you about that shit. So I just look at it like, leave, or I'm going to leave because I don't want to deal with it. You calm down, and then maybe we could talk later. But the thing is that as a man, your job is to stay stoic, stay on your purpose, and not let a woman take you off track with her emotions because women are emotionally erratic, and you can't go ahead and feed into that crap.
Turn around.
Communicating isn't like. I lost my train of thought.
Fantastic.
Yo,
Bear
this
with
is
me.
crazy, bro.
Bear with me.
Can I add that? So I
Good.
think
Yeah.
women are very hormonal, and so it is possible they go crazy, and sometimes without a reason. Like I personally need to watch a crying movie every month just to let the emotions out and not put it out on anybody else. I have a very hard time, like couple days before, and yeah, I mean. Chocolate and flowers like really help. So like don't walk out and be like, I let her calm down. There's like a couple other things you can do to actually not just leave it neutral but improve it. So
Well, that just proves my point why women can never be in leadership roles.
Chocolates.
Like, yeah, like, and that's why I tell guys, like, we're not, ladies, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but men, as the man, you're supposed to be superior to your girl. You're the leader. So what the hell do I look like sitting here arguing with you? That puts us on the same level. We're not the same.
Who says
We're not
though?
the same.
Simon says? Who says that you're superior? Are you going off a religious aspect?
I mean, to be fair, sitting there and arguing with somebody isn't beneficial. At the end of the day, it's just
And
gonna
someone who's
exhaust-
below you, like your girl is below you. I hate to say it. In the hierarchy, right? Because women have such a tough time with understanding hierarchies. They actually looked at this too. If you go to a male prison, right? The men have delineated hierarchies. There's a boss, there's a chain, right?
Yeah.
With female prisons, they don't have that, right? Women don't understand that there's like hierarchies and levels of shit. Men understand this subconsciously. So with women, they think, oh, I'm equal to you, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, no, you're not, because you picked me, which means I'm obviously bringing something to the table.
Chris.
I am the leader. I'm the dominant. I'm not going to sit here and negotiate with you. I think negotiating with a woman is a very weak thing that you can do because you're putting yourself on the same level as her. And women don't want a man on their level. I mean, y'all said it before. Oh, I'm not going to acclimate and switch my shit up because I didn't respect the guy. Which I get it. He was a bum. So I get it. He's got to negotiate. But I'm telling men, if you're negotiating, you already lost with a female.
What is
From
your
the start.
woman to you? Like, what do they give you if you're not gonna like be a yin and yang with them? If you're not gonna listen to them, what are they to you?
I'm not saying I
I'm
don't listen to
curious.
them. I'm just saying that I'm not negotiating with them.
He's not wrong. A man should.
My way or the highway.
Martin, I got emotions, man. Turn around and die.
So
Okay.
man would be
I
the
mean-
reason why I could choose to be flight attendant instead of working with sewers.
Say that again.
Men would be the reason why I can choose to be a flight attendant instead of working with
Exactly. Exactly. And I look at it like if a man's able to provide you for that, of course, I'm not saying like every guy's capable of this. A lot of guys are losers and can't do what I'm talking about. They do need to sit there and negotiate with you and shit. But what I'm saying is if a guy has his shit together, he shouldn't be negotiating with you. It's this way or no way. It's this way or you're single.
I mean, to be honest, why do you argue? Argue to get a resolution, right?
Yeah.
So rather than argue about it, hey, you know what? We'll fix the issue. It's done.
Yeah, I don't argue with women. That implies that we're on the same level, and I don't look at myself as an equal to females, unfortunately.
All right, we
Right?
got
Like,
chats.
You can't, like, my thing is, I look at it like, if you want a man to be a gentleman, right? Because women want a gentleman. They want a guy who's going to plan dates. They want a guy that makes money. They want a guy that has status. They want a guy that has all these things. Cool. Looks to me on paper, you want a superior. All right. I'm not going to have all these things and then put myself on the same footing as you. We're not the same at all. I didn't bust my ass to sit here and negotiate with a female. The fuck do I look
But
like?
Myron, we're equals.
Yeah.
Equality.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
That's a lie from feminism.
How dare you?
You know, women want chivalry, but they don't want to deal with the with the negatives of chivalry, which is shut the hell up and listen to the man. You know what I mean? So it is
No,
what
it's
it is.
just about having like basic human decency. Like, you know, like if you're gonna take somebody out on a date, you don't gotta expect something immediately. It's just you're getting know to the person, or you communicate prior. We do 50-50.
Welcome.
All right. Anyway,
Dog shit
anyway,
advice, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Where we at here?
Okay.